Two sister entertainers, a handsome singer, and the beginning of a world war. Welcome everyone. This week we're going back to 1945 for an American biographical film called The Dolly Sisters, starring Betty Grable, June Haver, John Payne, and S.Z. Sakal. And this is directed by Irving Cummings. Our story begins this week in New York in the year 1904. Uncle Latzie, played by S.Z. Sakal, comes to New York from Hungary with two little nieces, Jenny, played by Betty Grable, and Rosie, played by June Haver. Stopping at the pub Little Hungary, Latzie visits with his friend, pub owner Ignaz Timus, while having a game of cards. Enjoying the music, Jenny and Rosie take to the stage and become part of the floor show, receiving a round of applause. Skipping ahead to 1912, the pub is now called Little Hungry Cafe, and the girls are still at it, along with Uncle Latzie's card games. To pay Uncle's $42 card debt, Jenny and Rosie decide to go into Vaudeville, with Ignaz booking them at the Bijou in Elmira. On the train, they meet another up-and-coming act, singer Harry Fox, played by John Payne, who catches the attention of Jenny. Harry, heading to Elmira as well, states that he just played 2 weeks at the Hammerstein Victoria and knows Oscar Hammerstein himself. They soon arrive in Elmira and begin their auditions. Harry struggles with his career while the sisters' fame rises. Rosie is distrustful, but Jenny begins dating him anyway. Staying at Mrs. Finney's boarding house, Harry and Jenny practice a song and dance routine, hoping Jenny will want to perform it with him on stage to save his career. Jenny, not wanting to break up her sister act, declines. Parting ways, they say their goodbyes at the train station. Jenny and Rosie try to get an audition with the great Oscar Hammerstein, but are declined. However, they bump into Harry Fox once more. Knowing Hammerstein and wanting to help their career to the next level, Harry gets them an audition at the Hotel Knickerbocker. Seeing their act, Mr. Hammerstein states, "Never before have I seen such lovely girls. You open at the Victoria in 2 weeks." So, is it wedding bells for Jenny and Harry? Does a producer hearing one of Harry's new songs give him the break he's been waiting for? Or does success come to all at the time war breaks out in Europe? The world premiere of the Dolly Sisters was in Chicago, Illinois, October 5th, 1945, with thousands of fans coming out to get a glimpse of the stars and see the latest extravaganza from 20th Century Fox. This film received the 1947 nominee Oscar for Best Music Original Song for I Can't Begin to Tell You. 84% of Google users like this movie, stating, Grable and Payne are at their peak in entertaining showbiz story, Betty Grable and June Haver in a joyous Fox musical, and Grable's splashiest Technicolor musical. Yes, and that it is, and I did a couple of her other splashy musicals on my channel. Please click the link down below for Down Argentine Way in 1940 and Moon over Miami from 1941. And our trivia question this week, was one of the characters in our film credited with inventing something? Was one of the characters in our film credited with inventing something? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question, coming up next. Since our movie is a biographical film, the Dolly Sisters are the subject of this week's history. So, Rosie Dolly and Jenny Dolly, known professionally as the Dolly Sisters, were Hungarian-American identical twin dancers, singers, and actresses, popular in vaudeville and theater during the 1910s and 1920s. The sisters, Rosika Deutsch, later known as Rose or Rosie, and Janka Deutsch, later known as Yancy or Jenny, were born October 24, 1892 in Hungary, later immigrating to the United States in May 1905. As children, the sisters trained as dancers and began earning money in beer halls as early as 1907. Barred from being underage by the New York City stage, they toured the Orpheum circuit until 1909, when they debuted on the Keith Vaudeville circuit. In 1911, Florenz Ziegfeld Jr. signed them to appear in the Ziegfeld Follies for 2 seasons. Their act was a hit with audiences who enjoyed their glamorous personas. However, in 1913, the sisters decided to try to forge separate careers. While Rosie was appearing on stage, Jenny teamed up with dancer Harry Fox, whom she married in 1912. Jenny and Fox also toured the vaudeville circuit as a dance duo, but in 1916, the sisters reunited to act on stage in speaking roles for the first time in the successful Broadway farce, His Bridal Night. Appearing in Ziegfeld's Midnight Frolic and returning to vaudeville, they commanded a salary of $2,000 a week. In 1918, they appeared in their only film together, the semi-autobiographical The $1 Million Dollies. After World War I, the sisters moved to France, where they bought a chateau and toured the theaters and dance halls of Europe. As their success continued throughout the early 1920s, they were able to command high salaries. One engagement at the Moulin Rouge in Paris, the sisters were paid $1,200 a night. By early 1927, the Dolly Sisters' popularity began to decline, and they eventually retired in 1929. The film rights to the success story of the world-famous Sister Act were obtained from the surviving sister, Rosika Dolly, then married to Irving Netcher and living in Chicago. Fortunately, Mrs. Netcher had kept scrapbooks and generally loaned them to the studio, helping the enormous, long, meticulous research that prefaced the writing of the screenplay. That would have been a big ordeal back then. And the answer to our trivia question this week: was one of the characters in our film credited with inventing something? Yes. In one of the early songs, the lyrics mention the foxtrot. American composer, vaudeville dancer, actor, and comedian Harry Fox is credited with inventing and showcasing the foxtrot dance in the summer of 1914, and who performed with the sisters numerous times. Harry Fox made a few recordings of popular songs and appeared in a few silent films, and in the early sound era, he made some talking short films. He was still living in 1945 when the biopic The Dolly Sisters was made. A lot of fun, this movie. I hope you get a chance to watch it and enjoy it, and the other ones that I posted as well. I'd like to give a big thank you to all my viewers and subscribers, and if you're new to my channel, please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.